again, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are finally getting around to making the eggplant parmesan that I have promised a few of you folks for a while now. This recipe comes from a cookbook that was copyrighted in 1993. I've had it for that long. It is called Trattoria. I've never been fortunate enough to travel to Italy. I've always wanted to, but trattorias spot the landscape of Italy. In every little small town and back road, you will find an Italian family that has a small trattoria, or a small family restaurant, where they offer the common Italian family food. So this recipe comes from that cookbook, so I trust it implicitly, and it is so good. Some things I didn't know that I used to do wrong when I made eggplant parmesan. For one, you do not salt the eggplant. A firm, fresh eggplant like these picked from my garden today will have no bitterness. There won't be anything you have to remove, any negative flavors that you would have to remove by salting the eggplant. And the other thing is, you don't bread it. The sauce is what you want to start first, and in the pan behind me I have a half of a small white onion and about 2 plump cloves of garlic that have chopped up in 1/4 cup of olive oil that are sauteing. And now I'm going to add my tomatoes that I picked fresh from my garden. These are Italian paste tomatoes, a little different than Romas. A lot of people categorize all the little oblong shaped tomatoes as Romas, but the Italian pastes are very good and perfect for sauces like this, and they actually have flavor, whereas a lot of Romas don't. Okay, the tomatoes are now in the pan sauteing on low, and I've got another large cast iron skillet that has a good deal of sunflower oil in it, because when we fry the eggplant we want to use either a sunflower or a peanut oil. Not an olive oil, oddly enough, because olive oil is not meant for high heat and frying, so you need to use an oil that is. Now the other key to making this eggplant parmesan is in slicing the eggplant. It needs to be sliced so thinly it's almost like potato chips. So I'll demonstrate. You want it very thin, even thinner than that if you can get it. That's good. See how thin? Just like a potato chip. Okay, my oil has reached temperature, so we are going to fry up some eggplant in small batches, a few pieces at a time. If you have cut them thin enough, what you're going to notice is that they will brown very quickly. They even start curling up like little potato chips. You need to have some paper towels ready beside where you're frying, and some sea salt, so that as you take them out, you will sprinkle them with some sea salt. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the whole step. But if you've made eggplant parmesan the American way, where you've done all that salting and breading and all of that, you'll think this is a piece of cake, which it pretty much is. Okay, well, it's been about 25 minutes in preparation, and now we're ready to assemble. The other things that you need is about a pound of the freshest mozzarella you can find, and about 3/4 to a cup of really good Parmesan. And I wanted to mention that if you don't have fresh tomatoes to use, and you must use canned, this is a really good brand that I have found that works pretty well. It's called Glen, and it is organic, so I would recommend it. Okay, now we're ready for assembly, so come close. First thing you want to do is put just a small layer of your sauce in the bottom of your pan. Now you're going to layer your eggplant. By the way, my husband just stole them. You can eat them like potato chips. They're just so wonderful. And you're going to layer the eggplant in there, overlapping it. Once you have that first row filled in, then you're going to add another small amount of sauce, just sprinkled around in there. And then you're going to use about half of your cheese, the fresh mozzarella. Now another layer of your eggplant, a little bit more of your sauce. This time you're going to use about half of your Parmesan. And now you're going to use the last third of your eggplant. Last third of your sauce. Last half or so of your mozzarella. And then the rest of your Parmesan. And we're going to top it off with some fresh basil picked from the garden, about a half a cup, chopped, and it is assembled. You're going to bake this in a 400-degree oven in the center of the oven for about 40 minutes until the cheese is melted and the aroma is mwah.